Welcome back. I'm the EverLovingBlue-eyedBeas. All right. Wow, I've gotten fat. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. So this is my Why I Love Reed Richards video. I could go negative. There's a new Fantastic Four movie coming out, and a lot of people on the web have decided to tell you why it's going to be awful or why it's going to be terrible. I'm going to tell you why I love each individual member of the Fantastic Four and the Silver Surfer and Shalabal. Not so much Galactus. I appreciate Galactus, but he's not one of my favorite characters. So I'm going to start with Reed Richards, and I'm going to basically what I'm driving at here is what we're looking to see as fans of the Fantastic Four. What we are looking to see in Reed Richards. So when you're making him for the big screen, you want these elements in there. Okay. If he's got all this, it's going to be a good movie. It's going to be a downright great movie because it's, as Steve Englehart said repeatedly, it is not about the powers. It's about the people. He actually just said it's not about the powers, but I kind of explained a little bit more, added a little bit of my own pop to it. All right, so Reed Richards. First off, I've never seen Reed Richards gotten correct on screen, not on the big screen. There's aspects of him I've seen done right in some of the cartoons. What you need to understand about Reed Richards is that he was a superhero long before he got superpowers. This is a guy who Batman wants to be when he grows up. That's really saying something, but I'm going to follow through with that assertion. Batman would have loved to have been Reed Richards. Uh, Batman would Bruce Wayne would have loved to be Reed Richards. Steve Rogers would have loved to be Reed Richards, who Reed Richards is long before he becomes Mr. Fantastic. So, who is this guy who I just claimed is greater without superpowers than some of your favorite superheroes? Reed Richards is the first thing we learn about him is he grew up without a mom and a dad who neglected him. Some people call that abuse. Certainly is a form of abuse, but if you start off with he was abused as a child, you think the kid's getting beaten. He wasn't. He was ignored, which is terrible. But he grew up in that environment, and maybe part of why he's such an overachiever is because he's been striving to win his parents' love. Something he just will probably never have. Now, this stuff is coming mostly from the Stan and Jack run, but also from the John Byrne run. I've read quite a bit of, I've read almost the entire Stan and Jack run. That's Stan the Man Lee and Jack the King Kirby, for anybody who didn't know. They created the Fantastic Four. They created most of the Marvel Universe. Most of these Marvel characters are Stan and Jack creation. Spider-Man being the obvious exception, who is more of a Steve Ditko and Stan Lee creation. Anyway, the next thing, so Reed grows up that way. He goes to college on an academic scholarship, but he also tries out for the football team with his roommate, Ben Grimm. He'll get his own video, the ever-loving blue-eyed thing. It's clobbering time! Anyway, Reed is the star quarterback. He takes to football. He's great at it. He goes ahead, and in football, he's the quarterback, Ben's the receiver. I don't know exactly how they ran things in the 1940s, which is when they were going to school, but they were the championship team in college football before World War II. That's huge. That's It wasn't huge back then. Football had not eclipsed baseball as America's national pastime, but it's still an amazing accomplishment. This guy is an amazing quarterback. So he gets out of college, he graduates. It's also where he meets Dr. Doom. Just as a side note, Victor Von Doom went to school with Ben and Reed, and he never remembers Ben, which is always a problem for him in the comics, which I find hilarious that they've managed to keep that kind of continuity, which often seems to be an accident. Continuity didn't really exist like that in comics back then. Anyway, which is just another bit of appreciation for Stan and Jack. They really broke a lot of ground. They're really awesome. So he's a quarterback. He leaves as he graduates from college. World War II breaks out. America goes into World War II, and before America joins World War II, he enlists himself in the overseas services and becomes the greatest spy in World War II. So he's the greatest college quarterback. He's the greatest spy in World War II. He's basically, when you talk to Reed Richards, you should feel like you're talking to James Bond. You should feel like you're talking to Jack Ryan or Jack Reacher or Jason Bourne. You should get that sense of deadliness, but appropriate use of force. They said about Aslan in the Chronicles of Narnia, um, what was it? Is he tame? No, but he's good. And that's how you should feel when you talk to Reed Richards. I don't know if you guys have ever spent time with special forces guys or just military guys who've actually seen combat, but they have that walk, that aura about them of silent confidence. They don't need to prove themselves to anyone. They've proven themselves already. They've proven themselves to themselves. They know who they are. They know who they are under fire, under combat. They're not looking to impress anyone. They're looking to do what they got to do. And that is Reed Richards. And I've never seen it on screen. We did not get it in the 2004 movie. We did not get it in the sequel. We certainly didn't get it in Fantastic Four Stick. Fan Four Stick, whatever it was. That is who Reed is. And I want to see that on screen. If Pedro Pascal brings that, it's going to be a good Reed Richards. Strong, silent, and the guy who always has a plan. No matter what the situation is, he's ready for it because he's always got a plan. And you can trust him. You can. There's a song called, what is the name of that song? It's a female country song, Take It Like a Man. And the chorus is, take it like a man, steady and strong, not a lot of fuss or carrying on, true to a promise you can write in stone. That's Reed Richards. That's Reed Richards right there. He is the man. He's always been the man. And then, once he was done, the thing about being a spy is once he was done being a spy, he was done. He did that to serve his country. This is not his life's goal. His life's goal was to become a rocket scientist, which he did. So he designs a space rocket by himself, and it is built, by the U.S. government, but he designed it by himself. That's not possible. He did it anyway. The man's a genius. Do I think he's the most brilliant man in the original Marvel comics? No, that's Bruce Banner. But he is still way up there. If you can't get Bruce, you want Reed. If you can't get Reed, you want Tony Stark. They're both Reed and Tony are more specialized. Bruce is a generalist who exceeds them usually in their own fields. But that's original Marvel comics. That hasn't been continued through the run. That's Jack and Stan time. Anyway, Reed is the greatest rocket scientist in the world. He's the greatest secret agent in the world. He's a secret agent man. Secret agent man. They've given him a number and taken away his name. He went out and he took down the Nazis. He helped take down the Nazis, who are generally considered the great enemy, that everybody acknowledges they were a major enemy. And Reed Richards is one of the reasons we beat them in the Marvel Universe. He is a great, great, great man. He is strong, silent type. His flaws, he's a lone wolf. He doesn't think of himself as a lone wolf, but he is a lone wolf. He has a problem trusting other people. He has a problem explaining things to other people. He is not a great leader. Leading on the football field, which is his main experience with leadership, is not the same as getting people to trust you with their lives. And you see that repeatedly in the Jack and Stan run, where he keeps forcing his family to trust him without questioning him. Good, bad, indifferent, you can decide however you want that. He zeroes in on a problem and focuses on it to the exclusion of everything else. which is a very manly thing to do, but he ignores his wife sometimes. Um, he ignores everything sometimes. It's not just Sue. He's trying to save the world. And when he's doing that, it's not because, he's ignoring her for some minor thing or because he doesn't appreciate her. It's because he's laser focused on saving the world. It's almost always saving the world. One of the classic examples is when he was trying to develop a device that would create a shield around the planet Earth in subspace, which is a Jack and Stan creation, which I'm pretty sure they borrowed from, was it Star Trek? Or Star Trek borrowed from them? Doesn't matter. But the Skrull are able to travel to Earth through subspace, which is whatever. So he needs a shield, and other aliens can travel here through subspace. And so he needs to develop a shield. And he's so focused on that in one story that he's ignoring Sue, he's ignoring Ben, he's ignoring Johnny, he's ignoring eating, he's ignoring drinking. And everybody kind of just gathers around, not everybody, but so Sue is watching over him while he's working, and she gets ignored in the meantime. And he's not doing it because he plans to ignore her. He's doing it because the Earth is in peril and he needs to save the world, and no one else is stepping up to do it. Could Bruce Banner? Yeah, but he's running around as the Hulk right now. He's got all sorts of problems. He would not stay the smartest man in Marvel Comics. He got a little too busy doing something else. Is Tony Stark dealing with this? No, he's dealing with his own problems as Iron Man. Are the Avengers looking into this? Oh, dealing with other stuff. Is Thor, who probably could solve this problem fairly easily with all of his advanced either technology or magic from Asgard? Nope. It's Doctor Strange handling this with his magic. Nope. It's only Reed. Reed's the only one stepping up. And yeah, so he's not, that is a problem. That is a character flaw. He doesn't have great work-life balance, and that hurts his family to some degree, but it's also, he's literally saving the planet when he does this. He's the man. Reed Richards should always come off as the man, the greatest guy around, a guy who takes care of his friends and his family and the world when no one else can. A charitable man, a giving man, still with his flaws, and his biggest flaw, the thing he regrets the most, is not putting shields on the rocket and not waiting for the shields to be installed on the rocket so he could beat the Russians into space. And in Marvel Comics land, he beat the Russians into space. He helped win the Cold War. But that's a whole nother thing and gets into politics and all sorts of stuff. And I'm at 13 minutes, and I got to keep this under 15 for YouTube to agree to post these with this new account until I get some, I don't know, time under my belt or something. I don't know. I read the whole message they sent me when I was after working a 9-hour day and then doing a 40-minute video. So I'm kind of hazy on what I need to do to get longer videos. If you know, put it down, and if you can write about it in very simple words, put it in the comments down below. I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for listening. Remember, God loves you, and so do I.